Now let's wrap up this week's Uncommitted series by sharing more of your feedback and answering some of your questions. We started on Monday talking with a man named Hunter Graham, along with his wife Teresa. Hunter Graham did everything he and his wife Teresa and that Hunter could to try and help their son Austin. But Oregon's high bar for involuntary care failed them. Austin did not qualify for forced treatment until he killed his own mother amid psychosis. Tuesday, we explored what happened over the last 5 years to essentially criminalize severe mental illness in Oregon. Basically, a crime needs to be committed before someone can be treated against their will. And civil commitments for involuntary care are nearly extinct as the Oregon State Hospital is full of aid and assist patients facing criminal charges. Wednesday, we brought you a rare success story, but not here in Oregon. A Portland man got forced help in New York State after flying there amid psychosis after he was released from a Portland hospital overnight. His parents had tried to get him help in Oregon before that, to no avail. And then yesterday, a possible solution in Washington County when it comes to mental health evaluations for those accused of a crime. Some people wait months for those tests, but the Rapid Fitness to Proceed program, championed by the Washington County DA, appears to be showing early success in getting those tests done sooner and saving taxpayer dollars. We got so much feedback from you throughout the week, both in our email and voicemail inboxes and also on our YouTube videos, so thank you for that, sincerely. Our first segment on the Graham family surpassed 1,000 comments since Monday, showing all of the varied opinions out there, as well as just how many people this issue affects here at home and across the country. But one main theme through much of your feedback, real action and change are needed and fast.
I am beyond outraged. I was 50 years as a psychiatric nurse in California, and I cannot believe the mental health system in Oregon. They don't care until someone commits a crime. Someone kills someone, someone rapes someone, someone injures someone, then you're willing to do something. What are you going to do? You put them in jail? No. These people need psychiatric help. Oregon, wake up.
I worked in mental health for 25 years. I'm now retired. There was a time when there was a better balance between the commitment laws and the resources, but that time is gone. I salute the brave families that have been on your show. They have gone through hell. Clearly, Oregon needs more humane commitment laws and much more in the way of proper facilities.
And Larry chimed in. Great story on this important topic. One has to think if Oregon had more civil commitments, we might just have fewer homeless, mentally ill people out there. We also wanted to address a few comments and questions that came in this week. Deanna wrote to us saying that when she lived in California, my son went through something called mental health court, which he was ordered into counseling and also had to stay on his medication. If he complied for a year, his record would be wiped clean. I think Portland or Oregon as a whole should look into this program. Nationwide, there are only 300 cities that have this program up and running. Thank you for that, Deanna. I wanted to say there are mental health courts in Oregon. I've talked with the judges who preside over those courts in large counties like Multnomah and Washington County. These courts use mental health monitors to work with defendants and participants on things like housing, medication management, health care, and other areas, with the goal of potentially reducing their probation periods. A civil commitment is one tool that judges have for someone with severe mental illness they deem to be in need of forced treatment. But few people meet Oregon's current standards, and judges know that the Oregon State Hospital really isn't admitting civil patients anymore. Just look at that green line on that graph. That shows how few civil commitment patients the state hospital takes in. And completing mental health court requires buy-in from participants, which of course can be difficult. So mental health courts are operating here, but of course they can't override the legal standards as well. We also wanted to address this comment from Kay and Dan. We are viewers in Clark County. After watching your coverage of the Oregon situation regarding involuntary commitment for mental health care, we would like to know how that situation is in Washington state. Washington and Oregon's involuntary commitment systems have a few key differences. For one, Washington is more active with civil commitments. About 40% of its state psychiatric hospital beds are used for civil patients, whereas nearly everything is criminal first now in Oregon. Washington also has more defined laws regarding danger to self or others, and it doesn't have the imminent danger requirement for grave disability when it comes to severe mental illness. That can often be a limiting factor in Oregon, with doctors or judges releasing individuals because they don't meet those high standards for forced care. The system is far from perfect north of the Columbia River. They still wrangle with long waits in jail for people needing mental health treatment, as we've covered on this show. But lawmakers in Olympia are moving faster than their Salem counterparts to increase bed capacity at the Western State Hospital, Washington's mental health facility. Earlier this month, demolition crews began taking down buildings around Western State in order to add 350 beds, nearly doubling the capacity for patients with either convictions or criminal cases pending, which of course has a trickle-down effect. It won't house patients for another 4 years, and it'll cost nearly $1 billion all said and done, but it's movement towards needed change. If you missed any of my previous Uncommitted coverage, you can catch up right now on KGW+. That's our free streaming app available on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. And if that doesn't work for you, we have a new landing page on our website where all of the published Uncommitted stories are featured from the last 2 years. Just head to kgw.com/uncommitted or head to the KGW YouTube page and type in Uncommitted.